Good morning, friends. I am out in the garden. As you can see, the roosters are still sending their morning messages to each other. But today is going to be planting day. It's February 27th, I believe. I didn't look at the calendar. We are in zone 9B. I went ahead and looked at the 2-week forecast. Everything looks good, so we're going to go ahead and get everything in the ground. If we should have a random late freeze, we'll go ahead and cover anything that's already been planted. It's not a big deal. We're not worried about it. Now, last night we sat down and we have rearranged our whole planting plan because we laid out these beds different than what we had originally planned on doing. So we went ahead and drew up a new one. Yeah, we still like pencil and paper and marker and all that good stuff. Maybe that has to do with being a 90s kid, I don't know. But anyway, we ended up with more planting space than originally planned because we purchased two 10-foot galvanized beds. So that cleared up some of the space we were originally using in the smaller beds. So now we have to figure out what we're going to put there because we don't know yet. So the plan is to plant what we have and figure out what's going to go there next. I'll go ahead and video us working. And at the end of the video, we'll go through and see what we planted, where we planted it, and why we planted it there. And I'll tell you about any other plans that we might have. And there's a lot of plans and plants, as you can tell. Alright, so Lily is planting some tomato plants right here. And if you didn't know about tomatoes, you can dig your hole real deep, which she's about to do another one. And if you have a really long tomato plant, you plant it deep and it's going to grow brand new roots all underneath the dirt. It just makes your stem much stronger for when your plant gets bigger. So this is what we use to plant our beans. It's just a piece of lattice work. And you can use the squares as a guide because we do I guess you could call it a form of square foot gardening. So you just go ahead and pop them in the holes. I think we usually do every other hole, but I'm going to try every hole this year and see what happens. Wesley, what you doing? Wesley. So we got these onion sets from Walmart because they had them, and I went in the plant section. But we are going to try to plant them in our beds. Our friend Dale from Dale's Quails said he goes ahead and he plants them in empty spots. So what I want to do is plant them in the middle of these tomato cages. I think we'll do 5 and see what happens.
It takes me a few holes to like jump.
Yep, so we're gonna put 4 cucumber plants on this trellis. It might be a little bit too much, but if we lose one, they have 3 backups. Alright, so quick review of everything that we planted. Green onions from the grocery store. I just like to replant them when I can. This eggplant, it looks pretty sad right now, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Cucumbers, this bed still needs to be planted with bush beans, and that's this whole bed. 2 cherry tomatoes. We did scallop squash and wasabi radishes here. Cherry tomatoes. Daisy haricot bush beans in this whole bed. I didn't plant the seeds yet, but we're going to put apple gourds on this trellis. The grandbaby put dirt and rocks on the wagon for me. So here's fisheye peas here and on this side, because we're going to put a trellis in between. These are, what are these? Let me see. What did we put here? These are bell peppers, green and yellow. These are jalapenos. The spacing is kind of tight, but we'll go ahead and we'll tie them here. You can also use a tomato cage. A tomato cage is actually better than, better for a jalapeno than it is for a tomato. So here and here are pumpkins, because there will be a trellis here again. We have some dwarf carousel corn here, soybean here, because we really like edamame. They have some space here, so I may end up moving some jalapenos to the middle here. This is not planted yet because I'm not sure what we're going to put here. These are all banana peppers. Again, I may end up thinning these out because I have this middle section with nothing right now. We did pigeon peas on that side, which I'm not familiar with their growing habits, so that's going to be an experiment. And pigeon beans, these are supposed to be a bush. So again, experiment. But I may put some banana peppers here. Then on the sides for the trellises, this is Boston marrow squash. And then here we have tomatoes. There's 3 on each side of the cage. These are technically tomato cages, but we're going to use them sort of like a trellis and tie these tomato plants on here. Same thing on this side. We still have space for 2 more tomatoes here. No trellises in between tomato beds. And then what we did that I showed you is onions in all the empty spaces. We're going to try it out and see what happens. If it doesn't work, that's okay. It is an experiment. more tomatoes here. And then this bed is going to be all green zucchini. And then on the sides here and here is green dragon beans. So we need to put the trellis up. This bed is still empty. I don't know what we're going to put here yet. So I'm going to have to go dig through my seeds and see. But yeah, we got 90% of it planted today. So I am very happy with that. I still have a few more things left to plant. But that's enough for today. It is hot. I didn't think it would be that hot, but it's hot. What you thought about it?
It was good. It went by fast. It was definitely hot, yeah. Wasn't prepared for that. Need some sunscreen next time, but it went good.
Okay, yeah. Curious if you learned anything new in the planting world today.
About the onions and the tomatoes. Yeah, you can put the onions anywhere.
Yeah.
The tomatoes are a stem.
To plant them deep and they'll make more roots. Yep.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming help today. And Mr. Wesley did very well.
He did a lot better than I expected. I was gonna pull them all out, but guess not.
He did not. He just played with the rocks. Alright. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. I know they have all kind of little clips you're going to watch. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe.